Hello, this is a short video presentation on solving linear equations, multi-step equations. This should be a review of what you did in Algebra 1. First of all, why do we do this? Engineers, scientists, computer programmers, economists, etc. use equations to model real-life situations. We solve these equations to get answers to problems. Solving equations is a basic skill that you need to be successful in math classes and science classes. You got to be able to do this. This year, we're going to be solving linear equations, which is what we're going to do today. Absolute value, which might be new to you. Quadratic, which will be new. Radical, which will be new. And exponential, hopefully, which also will be new. So we're going to be solving a lot of equations over the course of the year. They're not hard to solve, but they're important to solve. All right. Rules. This is important. Show your work as I'm showing it here. Yesterday, watching you guys simplify numerical expressions, you get how to show your work. All right? A golden rule. Whatever is added, subtracted, multiplied, or divided to one side must be done to the other. I don't care what it is. If you do it to one side, you got to do it to the other. If you change one side by adding something or taking something away, you do it to both sides. All right. Steps. Combine like terms on both sides if possible. All right, let me write an equation, and we'll solve this equation as we look at the steps. All right. Combine like terms on both sides if possible. So I look at this equation, and I notice on the left, first of all, I'm going to draw a line here, just to keep in my mind left side from right side. And then I notice on the left side, 6x minus 7x, I have like terms. So I have 6x, 6 minus 7 is negative 1. So I have negative 1x minus 9 equals, and I have no like terms on this side, 9 times x plus 6 plus 3 times negative 5x minus 6. All right, step 2. Distribute. The distributive property, 9 times x, 9 times 6. When we have a number in front of a set of parentheses, we can distribute. So I take 9 times this number, 9 times this number, 3 times this number, 3 times this number. I can't distribute on this side, on the left. So I just rewrite that, negative 1x minus 9 equals 9x, 9 times x, 9 times 6 plus 54, 3 times negative 5, negative 15x, 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. Now, I wrote it two different ways. Here, I said plus a negative, positive 3 times negative 5, plus negative 15, positive times negative minus 18. You can write it either way, plus a negative or minus. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. All right. We distributed. Once again, if there's any like terms on each side of this line, we combine them. Well, I see on this side I have a 9x and a negative 15x, and I have a 54 and a negative 18. Those are like terms. All right? So I'm going to combine them, adding them together. So negative 1x minus 9. 9 and a negative 15 is negative 6x. And 54 minus 18 is 36. Oh, this is looking sweet now. Getting it a little simpler looking. All right, what's next? Add or subtract so that the linear terms, those with the variables, are on one side and the constants, the numbers, are on the other. So it doesn't matter which way you do it. In this case, I want to move my x term here to the other side of my line. All right? I'm choosing to put it on the left because if I add 6x to both sides, (6x) and negative 1x is a positive 5x. I personally like this number to be positive. These cancel. Negative and a positive cancel, and I get 36. All right? Add or subtract so the linear terms are on one side. Now, both of my linear terms have been combined into one on the left. The constants, my numbers, have to be on the other side. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides, and I end up with, my divider here was a little too short. I added it to both sides of my squiggly line, and I have 5x, 9's canceled, equals 45. And I'm running out of room. And the last step, divide by the coefficient of the linear term. So I divide both sides by 5. The coefficient, that's the number in front of the variable, I divide by 5, and 45 divided by 5 gives me x equals 9. And I'm done. That's all there is to it. All right? That's all there is to it. So the last thing we want to do is check our equation. So let me pause this for a moment, and I'm going to fix what I did wrong, not on the whole problem. All right. The last thing we have to do is check our answer. We're going to be checking our answers every time we solve an equation. Well, not every time, but every type of equation. Sometimes we're going to check it for practice. Checking it means, does this number, x equals 9, does it work when I put it in and replace it with x? So I have 6 times 9 minus 7 times 9 minus 9, 9 times 9 plus 6, plus 3 times negative 5 times 9 minus 6. So real quickly, we get 54 minus 63 minus 9. I'm doing the left side first. 54 minus 63 is negative 9 minus 9, or negative 18. Now, order of operations, I'm going to add this. 9 times 15 plus 3 times negative 45 minus 6. 9 times 15 is 135. No calculators. plus 3 times negative 51. And I get 135 plus negative or minus 153. And hopefully 135 plus negative 153, 40, 13 is negative 18. Awesome. Negative 18, negative 18. The left side equals the right side. We got the number that makes this true. We've got our answer. All right. This is taking a little longer than I wanted to. I'm going to give you one more equation. I want you to do it on your own and pause the video. And then I'll go through it quickly. Okay? Let's give this a shot. All right. Hopefully you paused the video. All right? And you solved this equation. All right, well, I just wrote it down. So now pause it. All right, hopefully you did pause it. All right, your answer should have been 0. So let's quickly go through. Step 1, combine like terms, left side and right side, there are none. Distribute, 2 times 10, 20. Oh, what was that? 20 plus 18x. 10 plus 10 times 1 is 10. 10 times 2x is 20x. Combine like terms. Nothing on the right, or left, I'm sorry. And on the right, 10 plus 10 is 20. 20x. I want to add or subtract. Well, I want my coefficient, the number in front of x, to be positive. So I'm going to subtract 18x to both sides. And I get 20, these cancel, equals 20 plus 2x. 20 minus 18, it gives me a positive 2. Had I subtracted 20, I'd have a negative 2x. And I just like my coefficient. This is the coefficient. Coefficient. Positive 2 is the coefficient. All right. Next step. Constants on the other side. So minus 20. Minus 20. Uh-oh. 0 equals 2x. Divide by 2, divide by 2, and I get x. What is 0 divided by 2? Why, it's 0. So my answer is 0. I didn't use this notation on the other problem, but your answers should be included in braces, in the curly. I did it really neatly. It would look like this. This is your solution set. Okay? That's what the curly braces mean. Lastly, you need to do a check. I'm not going to do the check because this video is too long already. All right. I hope this makes sense. I think I'm going to do a couple more examples in another video. Optional if you're a little confused still. All right. Thanks for listening. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.